Hello, amigas, and welcome to Amiga Hand Your Shit podcast. I met this beautiful soul in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm just so grateful that she has the time to be here with us. The day I met her, I said, "Oh my goodness, this woman needs to be on my podcast." And so, of course, so many months passed by, but I've always been following her Instagram, and we're going to talk a lot about all of her Instagram handles and all the things that she has done and continues to do. So, she's a serial entrepreneur, and that's the reason why I have her here because she is a badass Latina and she moved, her services from one thing to another to another to another, and she just continues to add on to her suite of services, amiga. So I feel so blessed to have her here, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity that I had to meet her in Phoenix, Arizona last year at my Amiga Way book launch. And so I'm like just over the moon that she's here with us today. So welcome, Brenda, to Amiga Handle Your Shit podcast.
Thank you, Jackie. I really appreciate you, having me here today. It's an honor, and so excited.
Yes. So let's really dig here really deeply. So Brenda, so I'm from LA, born raised in LA. Are you a native Arizonian? How give us a little background on you.
So I was born in LA as well.
Ooh, what
Yeah,
part?
but I came when I was 3 months, so
Oh,
I know nothing about LA besides just me visiting family. But I was raised here, so I'm all Arizona. My family might say otherwise, like, no, you have to be LA. I'm like, no, I'm Arizona. My parents, I'm first generation Hispanic, so my parents are from Zacatecas.
oh, wow.
Um, yeah, so we came here, my parents bringing us, wanting us to give us a better life, me and my siblings, and this is where we stayed, and I've been here all my life.
Oh my goodness. And so let's talk a little bit about that. So you're first generation
Mhm.
Latina. And so how was life growing up in Arizona? So were you always in Phoenix or were you traveling around the state of Arizona?
No, I've always been in Phoenix. Me growing up, being the youngest siblings of my family, my parents struggled so much to be where they're at that they gave me the best that they could. So I seen the struggles and the upcomings of my siblings, like my sister, having her master's degrees in teachers, seeing her work her way up and still, making a difference in the community. My parents working so hard to be here. My mom being retired, having that American dream where she's back in Mexico, coming back and forth, having her own home out there, having her home here is just, it's uplifting for me to see that, and this is why I got into, doing a small business, being my own, because my parents always had that freedom of going back to Mexico, traveling and providing for us.
Right. So tell me a little bit about, I heard you say that your sister is educated, and did you pursue that route as well?
I had a passion for teaching as well, which was preschool. I love little kids. Well, I love kids in general, but I wanted to pursue preschool. I did go for a year, but then I got a job at finance in the finance world. But in that transition, what discouraged me was the income. Unfortunately, us the teachers do not get, you know, the get that recognition in their funding and their income, and it comes from my sister. She tells me all the time she had to work really hard to be where she's at. My sister loves what she does, and she has a supporting husband. So that was just the only thing discouraged, but I always wanted to be a teacher, and I think later on, maybe when I'm a little bit like successful in my business, maybe I could take it on. Maybe I can go back to school and be a preschool teacher one day.
Yeah, you never know. The sky is the limit. I always say.
Yes.
Yeah, there's just because you choose one thing doesn't mean you have to stick to that one thing for the rest of your life.
Yes, and I think that was one thing that for me was the hardest thing leaving my secure, the corporate world, as a banker, was thinking that was what was I going to do for the rest of my life. Is just taking that leap of faith, and it just knowing that things can change, and if something else brings you happiness, pursue it.
Right, right. So, okay, so you were in banking, but something happened, I suppose, that said,
Yeah.
"Ah, I'm done with this." What was that moment in time? What was so particular about you changing, leaving the banking world to pursuing entrepreneurship?
My daughter, well, my both my kids, but at the moment my daughter was 1.5. When you work a corporate in the corporate world, it's 8 to 5, and it's not technically always 8 to 5. It's waking up earlier, dropping off the baby at the babysitters, getting off of work, staying after, servicing that client, make sure that you're servicing. It's not always you get out right at 5. You still have to do other things after. Pick up your daughter, come home. That's what hit me. Whereas I'm not spending enough time with my daughter. I'm not raising my daughter, even though I had amazing people taking care of her, the babysitter, her father, but it wasn't the same me. I had that mom guilt.
Mm, I think that's very common. I think it's very
Yes.
common for women, career-driven women. And you have this passion and you really want to pursue that career, but then you have like your kid, they're growing and they're being raised by others. And you're like,
Hmm.
what's the point? Like, why did I have my kid if they were, you know what I mean? So I
Yes,
get it.
exactly.
I think many women can identify with that. All these women who are hardworking and want to pursue their careers. There's always that dilemma in motherhood. But I feel like it should be used as a power, right? One of your superpowers creates empathy and resourcefulness, learning how to juggle time, how to
Yeah.
really time management, right?
That's probably the one of the biggest thing is managing your time.
Yeah.
Thinking that you can do everything, but you really can't. So it's just like take it step by step. Like
Take it. Yeah.
I guess it's like being realistic with the timing. Because
Right.
just quieres estar en todas partes, but you can't.
Yeah, yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm like part of my hand over here, my head over there, my
Yeah.
leg
Who
over
wants
here.
my leg? Who has my arm
Yeah.
today?
Totally, totally. I get
Yeah.
I honestly can empathize with that. So okay, so you have your child, 1.5, and then you said, okay, that's it. I'm gonna spend more time with her, or what was next for
I
you?
didn't know what was next.
Oh,
I was like I felt that guilt. So I think that year I got COVID. I got COVID really bad. Like it was like, and it was like awakening, like life is too short.
yeah,
Like un día estamos aquí, un día no. Like, appreciate and love the ones around you. So I was really privileged to have the support of my parents. I had my sister who supported me. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I think, even though I love the company, I work for Desert Financial. They're an amazing credit union, and just to work for it was amazing. That wasn't the issue. It was just me wanting to be a mom and being there for my daughter. And then also, I spent 3 years with my son. My son's 15 now, but when he was up to 3 years old, then I started working. I was a stay-at-home mom. So I felt that guilt. I gave that to my son, but I didn't give it to my daughter. So one
yeah,
day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put in my 2 weeks and I'm gonna do it. But I had already started my business of the party decor.
okay,
It was going steady. It was not replacing my income, which was another
yeah,
big barrier for me. Was like, it does not replace my income. The
yeah,
finance world, it gives you a stable job, your stable income. Every Friday, every other Friday, you get your check.
yeah, yeah, and it was good pay.
It was amazing pay, and then you are in a sales position, so you put your own number. How
Yeah,
much do you want to make this month, or how much do you want to make this year? So that the sky was a limit there, even though it is here for my business too, but it is a lot harder because you're selling a business to them, something that maybe they don't believe in, spending so much money on a party, you
yeah,
know so it's a lot harder.
right. So
um
So then, okay, so yes, this is way more challenging.
yeah.
You got to put money, like it's like in order to create a business, you got to put money in first.
Hmm.
I hope and pray and do all the things that it gets, you have a wonderful ROI, right? Your
Yes.
return on the investment. But that is the scary part of being an entrepreneur. It's like not really knowing. You don't have a crystal ball that says, you know what, you're going to do this and you're going to make that much money. You don't.
Because you don't know. You don't. You could do. You could. research and watch every, you just could do all the research, you can listen, you can do, and you follow the rules, like, the basic rules, but it doesn't always work out for you just like it worked out for somebody else. Along the way, you come across paths where like, this doesn't work for me. Like, it doesn't seem right for me. I'm a switch. Let me drift apart. Let me do something different. What is it gonna make, how, what makes me be a better person in this business? That's where I've learned. Like, this works for me. I love this.
Yeah. So LVS Creations was created. Is that
Hmm.
the first business you created?
Yes. It's so funny. The name, so LV Creations, it started off because of my son. So my son is Luis Vicente. That's how the name started. So
Oh,
LV's. So
okay.
LV's Creation. It just started because of my Instagram was love LV. So I was like, okay, I need to start. Like it's holding me back. My business name is holding me back. Everything else is holding me back. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna keep it simple. My personal LV Creations, love LV. I was like, okay, LV, love LV's creation. So I was like, I just went with it, and now I love it. Like, it wasn't something I put thought into it, but I was like, oh, this is something where I started, where my creativity started with my son, when he was first born, and partying and doing events for him, and his birthdays. So I was like, hey, it's stuck, and I love it, and I just started with LV Creations, doing balloons. It was just simple balloons.
Uh-huh. That's it?
Well, that's how I started. I just started doing my mom. I think it was, at the moment, it was my mom's, and then my baby shower. I bought Amazon kit. I started doing it, and I owned a Cricut. So Cricut's unlimited. You could do all types of crafting and signs, and I started with that, and I was like, this is. And then I started seeing, now once you start doing that business, you start seeing more around, like,
Right.
people doing this. What do they do with this? Like, what are my options here? So eventually my family and friends started asking me, hey, can you do this party? Can you do this? So of course I started it. Hey, just buy the materials. I do it for you. And then it started like, I can make a business out of this. I love this. This is a passion of mine.
Yeah.
It's like, I treat you like if you were my mom's party, like if it was my son's party, I put so much detail into it. So that's how it started. I just I bought a balloon kit, and I started doing it. People loved it. And I just grew. I started researching, watch other people. Yeah, I started.
So, okay, so balloons, but then I would gather that you started incorporating more things, right?
Yes,
You were noticing trends. Is that how it went?
yeah. So it's like, okay, well, balloons is, it's like, so it started where, like, balloons, but where's the balloons going to be attached to? A
Yeah.
wall. And so it started with backdrops. Now you have backdrops that are round, squared, flower backdrops, wavy, pink, blue, gray. Like, it's this industry is unlimited of creativity. Is just guiding my clients to the right way. Like, what is it that you want? This is what I can do for you. And they love it. Let's go. Let's create it.
Yeah. And do you have like different package deals? Like, because I'm sure there's like some that don't, money's no object, but then there's those that are like on a tight budget. Do you have like a niche client?
So I haven't found my niche client, just because I'm always scaling. Like, I'm always building for more. So basically, it's just like, hey, what's your budget? And like, you know what, this is what I'm looking for. I'm like, and I'll tell you, hey, with that budget, this is what I could do for you. And then add-ons, like, hey, and then I like to, like, give them a rundown of individual pricing. Like, hey, the backdrop is going to cost you this much. If you wanted custom color, custom backdrop, custom sign, a wood, acrylic, so many options and everything. Like, this is the price. And
Yeah.
you give the client the opportunity to decide what they want. Not me just like, hey, this is how much it is and that's it. No, it's like,
Yeah.
this is how much this is going to be. You want all these add-ons, or you don't? You want to keep it simple, basic? Like, what I say is, there's no such thing as too small or too big event or
Mm.
party.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can do
Yeah.
it real simple, balloons, add a little Mickey Mouse. It's a party.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, well, it really is, depending
yeah,
on the age and whatnot. And I've 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 hosted many parties and I've been to many parties, and it's like you can, spend 100 grand on a party, or you can spend 5 grand or two
yeah,
grand on a
yeah.
party. So I can totally see this. So now, is your company, do you have like a storefront, or is it all Instagram, and is it only in Phoenix?
So as of right now, yes, it's only in Phoenix. I'm home based. I have host everything from home. And I started. I haven't expanded like having a. I don't. I would love to see myself in like a little studio where clients can come out and see what I do. Like if they want to do like a table setting. Like if you want table settings, I want to come out and give you that vision. Or if you want to see examples of colors, what is it, I want that, I want my clients to experience that. Later on down on the road, I do want to get into bridal, into weddings, because but
Mucho dinero. That's
yes,
all I know.
but it's also a different level of
Yeah.
stress. And I'm going to
Yeah.
say, because I want my clients to be stress free, and I'm going to be stressed. So you have to be really knowledgeable on that area. People spend the client's going to spend the money because they value your work. So you got to take care of them, you got to know what you're doing, so that way that day of, it's magical. They show up to the event and they love it. This is what I wanted, this is what
Yeah.
I worked so hard for.
Right. And do you have staff or are you a one woman show?
One women show, yeah. I do have my 15-year-old that helps me with like the heavy duty stuff, like the backdrops, the sandbags to hold the backdrops, or just little needy things that I would need help with. He helps me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I imagine you definitely need people because those backdrops are not are not light. I know that.
Even though sometimes I do carry on by myself, you're surprised, but yeah, no, sometimes you do need help. Or sometimes there's other vendors that I work with, that we help each other out. So okay, they're gonna be there, hey, help me with this, help me with that. So it's an amazing community that I built, is working with other vendors, other I build a community for myself with, like, and they became friends who do the same thing that I do, but they've done it longer, or they're just starting, but we help each other out and we support each other.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
yeah, like, hey, I need help. Are you available this day? Can you come help me? Yes, I can you come help me? That's the beauty of it, where just building that community with other women who are doing it,
Right,
or
right.
men too, because I have other. Yeah.
Nice. Oh, wow. Okay, so now as you're scaling your business, I came across the fact that you also do bartending. So walk me through that. I know you can't have a party without some booze, but so how
Right.
does that come about?
It's so crazy, I know. So it just started with, where it's like, so the industry is like up and down, right? It's like a if you don't have an event, you don't get paid, or there's no income coming in. It's like it's a commission job. So it's like, you tienes que ahorrar for the next month. You have to secure your monthly, right? So it's like, I looked into, the business was going steady, but I was like, I need to make more income, and
Yeah.
what can I do? So I look back into going back to the banking world, but that guilt again, like, oh, my daughter hasn't even started preschool, kindergarten yet. I'm not ready to go back to the world. So I was like, what can I do, or what other services can I add to my
Mm,
current business?
yeah. How
That
can you leverage what you have right now
Yes.
for something else? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, what can I do during the week, the weekends? Because, and now I don't have a social life. If you invite me to an event and I'm working, I'm sorry, I can't make it on the weekend. So that's something that I had to compromise, right? But I get to be with my kids. So I was like, you know what? I just started making drinks, for my family and friends. They're like, oh my God, your drinks are so good. It just started with, my first drink was a paloma, which is one of the, we as Latinos, I love my paloma. We
Yeah.
all love paloma. So that's my signature drink, the paloma. And I was like, okay, this is a thing. And then I built a little bar, a basic little wooden bar. And it was a hit. It was like, oh, people loved it. I'm like, oh, okay. And then I started practicing. I didn't go to bartending school or anything like that, but I
Okay.
started practicing drinks. I started making like fake parties. Like, oh, come over. Like, let's have drinks. I want to start making more drinks. And people just kept loving it. I was like, this is it. I found it. So then I invested into a big wooden bar, white. I invested into everything that I needed. It's a low investment, because with bartending, it's one solid thing. You show up, You take the same things. Obviously, the only thing that changes is the mixers and the alcohol, which the client provides that because I'm a dry bar.
Yeah.
So it's like this is a low cost to start off.
Yeah.
And then it's like, then you change the theme. Is it a 50th birthday party? Is it a birthday party? Is it a bachelorette party? You just switch up the drinks, and my creativity comes with then I can show my creativity on the drink, on the garnishes. A little rose. What's your name? What's the theme? A little bluey. Let's make a blue drink with a little bluey on it, or like it's endless creativity when it comes to that. So it allowed me to be myself too. So I was like,
Yeah.
and I'm talking to people, I'm making new friends, I'm meeting new people, and it just you make them happy.
Well, yeah, it does. I could maybe a little too much, but
Hey, girl, it's never happiness
so
is there's no limit.
there's no limit. Just don't drive. Don't drink
Yeah,
it.
just don't drink and drive.
Just
Yeah,
don't. That's why we have Uber. So no more DUIs out there.
correct.
So, well, this is cool because you got your event planning. So I gather you also combine the bartending in conjunction with your planning event, correct?
Yeah, so I was like, okay, it doesn't interfere because when you do event decor or you go to a birthday party, you do it from like 8 to like 3 because usually parties start from 1 to 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So you can go early, you set up, you do your work, and then you come home and you get ready for the bartending. And sometimes it happens where I'm doing their decor and then I'm doing the bartending as well.
Oh
So
my
it
God.
just, it goes together. Like, hey, it's like a package. Do you also want bartending? Like this is what I offer. And then it goes from there. Yeah. So it, sometimes I'm working all day Saturday.
I can imagine.
I'm from
Yeah.
8, like probably sometimes from 6 in the morning all the way to like 1, 2 in the morning. Cause bartending ends at 12, 1. It just really depends.
Yeah.
But then Sunday is just pick up cleaning, and then I have the rest of the week off. I mean, you're still working, you're still on your
Yeah.
computer, planning, designing, talking to vendors, booking vendors, going back and forth with clients. But I choose that. I put my time. It's
Mhm.
like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go to my son's game. I'm gonna block it off. But when they're at school, mom has to work. Mom has to be on the computer. Mom has to order things. Has to check inventory. If I have to paint backdrops, I'm also a handy woman. So I go to Lowe's or Home Depot and buy the paint, and I have to paint the backdrop because it's a Mickey Mouse theme. It's a Barbie theme. I have to change it pink because it was
Yeah.
black before. So I'm always doing something. Like,
Right.
and another thing, now that I'm saying that, another thing that was probably one of the hardest thing is the discouragement coming from like a Hispanic. My parents like, does that gonna make you income? Like, te vas a salir de trabajar for something that you don't know. You don't
Yeah.
even work because they're so used to seeing you work Monday to Friday. Like, you don't even have a job.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
one of the things that gets to me is like, you don't even have a job.
Right. Yeah.
I'm
And then
like,
yeah.
so
I
it
think
was really hard. It was like I just, it's like, you're right. Like, I don't have a job. Like, but it's like, no, like this is it.
yeah.
It's a small business. I'm working 24/7. Like I'm never like, if I'm awake at 3 in the morning and I feel like researching something or ordering something, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like it's structured to like,
It seems just like your joy is your job.
yeah, it is. It really is. Even ordering balloons, it's like, oh, this color, like, oh, this color, and this. And me researching like the shades of pink. Like shades of pink, they probably have like 10.
You're like, is it blush? Is it?
Yeah, so I'm researching it. Like I'm looking at other like artists. Like, okay, how does this pink look with this pink? And then you research. Like it goes a long way from just ordering balloons. Like, am I ordering the right balloons? Like, so I find joy in that as well. Just ordering balloons, I can be on the website and just looking and going back and researching, like, is this the right shade? Or sometimes I order extra balloons just so I can get the color of it. So I
Yeah.
know.
Right. Oh my God, this is so much fun. Of course, it's going to be more fun than banking. I'm going to say.
Yes.
It's like dealing with. I love money. Money loves me, but the creativity, I believe that carries a lot of wonderful weight. It's a truly an abundant feeling versus
Yes.
like clocking in, clocking out, being an employee of this big corporate America, if you will, right?
Hmm.
So This is wonderful. I commend you. So then what's next for you?
I think it's just learning my craft, like keep being better, like researching, not researching, but one thing that I do want to get into is floral. Yeah, I mean floral. I love flowers. Everybody loves flowers. You know, flowers are always in, flowers are everywhere. And like I said, I want to get into the bridal industry. But with what I'm doing now is like, hey, like let's do a centerpiece. Like I do floral arrangements for my daughter's birthday party. That's how I started.
Yeah.
Um, so it's like, you want a floral arrangement? It's just always add-ons to my business. This is an additional add-on. Do you want floral for your backdrop, like a nice little floral? Do you want a floral for your centerpiece? Right now, what I'm actually doing is I'm doing like a pre-sale. Have you seen the little where you put a coffee and then you put a let me show you. So you know the cup holders, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah. Oh,
in
yes.
one lado le pones the coffee, and then another side you put, a little cute floral arrangement. So that's what I'm doing, like pre-sales for Valentine's, and I deliver it to your loved one, to your wife, to your
Oh,
best friend.
nice.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
here, somebody's sending you a coffee gram. So it's always, you can always do something with floral. Mother's Day,
Yeah.
it's like it, and it incorporates with my business now. Is like, do you want it's just adding on more add-ons so that clients I can be a one shop person where like, okay, this is what I want. I don't want to be looking anywhere else, paying different vendors. That's one thing I want to get into floral. I want to take a class, get certified, know the ins and outs, because there's so many flowers. You obviously want to deliver something that's going to last for your event. So you have to be knowledgeable on that. That's
Right.
one thing. And then just grow the bar, keep growing my business.
Yeah. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. This is amazing. Well, I'm glad that you're doing this and I commend you. One of the things I really wanted to highlight here is that you're a serial entrepreneur, always
Hmm.
thinking about the next thing. And the next thing is the floral now. So I'm excited for what's to come for you. And how can people find you so that in case they're in Arizona and they need to
Hmm.
plan a party, where can they find you? And then what are you hosting an event? Maybe people want to participate. So this is your time, your opportunity. Share. Highlight. Don't be
Highlight.
shy. Just do it. Do
Yeah. Well, it just depends when it comes out, because I think you said I was gonna come out on Tuesday, right? But I do have this coming up Saturday, but it just, if it doesn't come out, um, it's just a Valentine's event that it's gonna come out, and it'll be on my social media platforms, if but I'll always be posting if I have any events where I connect with other small business or that they're hosting. Like it's like networking, like empowering women. So those events I'll post them on my Instagrams. But it's LV Creations, so it's a cute little girl. And then bartending Brenda.
Bartending Brenda.
Hmm.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Brenda. And before I let you go, if you could provide one or two tips on how an amiga can handle her shit, I totally appreciate it.
I think the main one is just do it. Like just start. Like for me, it was just a leap of faith, and knowing that you have good intentions and you got a pure heart to do something. And if just do it, just start con algo chiquito, empieza. Or even if you're still working your full-time job, just start little. Like for me, it was just do fake parties. Is it gonna be a hit? If you're a baker, like just start baking. If like if you can do the floor, just start doing little floor arrangements. Like, hey, it's your birthday, can I make something for you? Or like, hey, your mom's birthday's coming up, can I make something for you? Like, and then you can give it to your mom. I want to get that feedback. Just start. I think that's the
Yeah,
fear, is like, and where do you start? Just start. Just
just start. Like, who
whatever
cares?
you, yeah, like if you, whatever it is, just do little by little.
Yeah.
And
We
then,
say action breeds clarity. If you
yes, and
won't
like, and
know.
how do you know if you don't do it, if you don't start? And that's
Yeah.
what thing with me starting with like the bartending and everything is just, I did it. People loved it, and it worked. People were hiring me. I'm like, okay, I love it. I was like, okay, like I'm so happy I did it. And another thing too in this industry, like there's so many people doing it, and just come together. My thing would be el sol sale para todos. The
Yeah.
sun shines for everybody. Like just. don't be afraid to do it. Like, if somebody else is doing it, it's okay. You're gonna have your own clientele. People are gonna go for you because of you. Everybody has their own style. It's okay. Just el sol sale para todos. Just
Oh,
shine on that. Yeah, and
I love
empower each other. Let's work together. Like I said, I have other workers, like not other workers, but other that became friends, and we do the same industry. We help each other out. Like, hey, girl, does this look good? Yeah, buy this. This is where I bought it from. Or you can use mine. I can te presto el mío. Like, it just
it.
empower. Like, yeah, working together is the best thing. Yeah.
So nice because I mean, at least I know I'm 51 now. And so back in the day, as they say, it wasn't as communal. It was more of a competition, but I feel that that was just masculine energy kind of
Yeah.
forcing that perception that women are always catty and fighting amongst each other. And I'm glad that now I'm living in this kind of life universe of women are more likely to help one another versus the other way around.
Yes. And one thing that made me really like I just say successful is tips. Like I wasn't afraid to ask another artist, hey, like, where did you get this? And they'll help you. It's just, even with me, they ask me, yeah, this is where I get my balloons. Do this, don't do this. My suggestion would be investing in this, buying this as I started, because I wish someone would have told me, like, this is a quality balloon to buy. Because what happened, I started buying all these small ones and I spent so much money. But if someone were to help me and guide me, it would have saved me so much struggle, so much stress, showing up to an event and like things falling apart, because you're learning. But if you
Yes.
can get ahead of the game just by a little bit con un suggestion with an Amazon link. Here it is, mujer. Like, buy this. Use this tape. Use these scissors. It goes a long way. It's just, give that. Don't gatekeep. Like, give that feedback. Help others. I have a really good friend that she started her own balloon business, and then she grew into like soft play and all that. But I like, yeah, girl, do this, do that, buy this. Like, I want you to learn from me, like my mistakes. So de no gastes tu dinero donde nomás porque se ve bonito. No, like, you want good quality. Like,
Right.
yeah, just give that feedback. If you're in that industry, whatever, if we can give that one feedback, just give it. Help each other out.
Yes, yes, exactly. I was just asking for I have this vision of creating something, an accessory, and I'm like, ¿de dónde? It's like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, wait a minute. I know this wonderful woman. She's got her little boutique here in LA.
Uh-huh.
Most precious soul. She's like, you know what? Don't worry. I'll find you someone who can
Oh my
like,
God.
draw it and do it for you. And I'm like, oh, and she
Yes.
doesn't gatekeep her information. Her
And you know what? Now that you say it, that you're telling me, I work with her name is Veronica. She's amazing. You actually need to have her on your podcast. I'm actually gonna get you connected with her. She is amazing. Pero ella tiene su online de jewelry from Mexico. It's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Talavera, like, it's so beautiful. So maybe you guys can connect there, and she's amazing. It's called Itzia
Eat.
artistry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that went blank, but it's, yeah. I'll connect you with her. Hey, you can maybe
Yes.
ask her, maybe make a little collab. Like, I don't know. She's
Well, girl,
amazing.
please send over the
Yes, I
information.
am. That's cool.
Put it
Yeah.
on, send me a DM on my Instagram, and that way I can like follow her and stuff.
Yes.
See, this is what happens. This is what I love about podcasting is that you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. And then
And
also too, like, speak it out loud, like, hey, you know what? I have someone. Or even with my clients, they're like, hey, do you have a DJ? Hey, do you have someone that rents tables and chairs? I need a jumper. I need a vendor for this, for that. I was like, I got you. It's like,
yeah.
and they're stressing out. I was like, well, what do you need? I got you. Like, these are the options. Pick one. If you want to reserve them, I can reserve them. But it's just like, if you don't say it out loud, how can we get help?
Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. Well, I'm so grateful that you're here, Brenda. You know, I knew we were gonna connect at some point in time, but like it's
Yes.
always happening for us, never to us. So, but I'm glad that it finally happened, and I'm just so grateful to have you here and share all of your wisdom, and just keep scaling, girl. I'm so
Thank
proud of you,
you.
and
Yes.
please keep connecting with me so that, hey, maybe you have your floral, maybe you start doing weddings. Then I want to get you back on the podcast and
Oh,
talk about
yes, I will love that. Yes, thank you so much for having me, and I can't wait for you to come back to Arizona. See what you're up to.
Yes, I'm sure I will. My sister lives out there, so I will
Oh
make
yeah, I know. She just is what 2 hours away. Yeah, definitely. When you're out here, let me know. Let's connect.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Brenda, for being here on Amiga Handle Your Shit
No,
podcast.
thank you for having me. Have a good day.
You too.